Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to PortFest 2024. Please welcome to the stage PortPro's founder and CEO, Michael Mecca.
Wow. What's going on, everybody? Fantastic turnout today. Great to see everybody. Really excited to be here. My name is Mike Mecca, founder and CEO of PortPro. I would like to formally welcome all of you to PortPro's second annual product event, PortFest. Would like to welcome everybody who is streaming in live on LinkedIn and any other social platform. Really excited to be here today. Excited to give you insights, give you a sneak peek into what we're about to roll out here at PortPro. A lot of hard work went into this event, so I just want to thank everybody who participated in that as well. Fantastic job, team. So let's jump right into it. Let's check out our agenda for the day. I'm going to give you a quick introduction as to what we are, what we're working on over at PortPro. If anyone's streaming in that has not yet heard of us, going to give you a quick introduction into all things PortPro. We're going to be touching on where the industry is, where the drayage industry is today. 2024 drayage report, we have our team working on right now, is going to be coming out on November 11th, a report that outlines everything state of drayage today. Then the fun will officially begin. We're going to be diving deep into 7 key points of what PortPro is working on next. We're going to be going through some amazing stuff. Make sure you stay tuned to that part of the show. As a side note, I really couldn't be more excited about that. Our product and engineering team have been on fire with their output and their productivity. So extremely excited to show all of you what we have coming up and what's about to be released here at PortPro. And then we'll wrap up. We'll have some nice closing remarks. We'll shake hands and we'll see you out there on the road. Let's start off with what is PortPro. For those of you that don't know, PortPro is the leading drayage operational software for asset-based and non-asset-based drayage companies in the United States and Canada. We currently are servicing well over 500 drayage trucking companies and brokerages across the continent. We've also expanded into Europe. More to follow on that, but we are currently servicing one of the largest drayage and intermodal providers in Northern Europe, across the Netherlands in Rotterdam, across Sweden, Germany, and soon to be Denmark. Extremely excited. Shout out to all of our team over there working hard on the other side of the world. Excited to be in Europe, excited to, see what the future holds for us out there. Our team has grown exponentially since we last met. This time last year, we had around 100 people on our team. Today, I'm excited to announce that we have over 150 people that are working within our organization today. This company has been built on the foundation of drayage first. And, I can't tell you how much drayage experience lies within our organization and within our team. Really excited and proud of the team. They're honestly the core reason why PortPro has been able to have a successful 5-year stint so far. And they're the core foundational reason why we have so much optimism. And we're so excited for what the future holds, not only for the industry, but what the future holds for us at PortPro and the impact that we're striving to make on the industry. I said it last year, I'll say it again this year. It means so much to me. I feel like we have a really gritty, hardworking group. Even though we have 150 people, over 150 people in the org, feels like such a small, tight-knit culture. It's a blessing, honestly, working with everyone that we work with every day. So shout out to the team. Know you're tuned in. Just want to say, from the bottom of my heart, thanks for everything that you do. I'll talk lastly, before we get into industry topics, about what our mission is at PortPro. Simply put, our mission is to improve the lives of the people that work within drayage companies. We want to go out and we want to build the best software that we possibly can to allow the operators of drayage companies and the companies themselves to be less stressed, more efficient, and more prosperous. And as a result, our goal is to make drayage the strongest link in the door-to-door international part of the supply chain. Our COO, Walker Banks, always says, drayage is the backbone, it's the core, it is the foundation of a strong supply chain. I couldn't agree with him more. It's kind of why we're all here today, because we all have that belief in drayage being the bedrock of supply chain, its impact on the global economy, its impact on local economies. And us at PortPro, we are driven more than ever to be the solution to a lot of the problems that drayage companies are facing on a day in, day out basis, working hard to do it. Next, let's get into state of the industry. November 11th, we will actually have our second ever report, our drayage state of the industry report for 2024 released, and everybody could download it and consume it for free. These are 6 of the points that we cover in that report. We go much deeper. We do interviews with industry experts across all parts of the supply chain. I'm going to be talking about these 6 topics today. Definitely November 11th, make sure you download and check out our annual drayage state of the industry report that's coming out. Fantastic job to the team. First, you see ports reporting on TEU volumes, record volumes. So volumes up, drayage operators, rates, not so much. Rates haven't really increased much for drayage operators over the last couple of years, and it's beginning to really squeeze these operations. The landscape today is hyper competitive, extremely competitive. The influx of supply during COVID and post-COVID, and the supply not necessarily leaving, but staying in the market, has depressed rates tremendously. And even companies that have fantastic relationships with their customers have been asked to reduce and cut pricing a lot of the time. So that's something to keep an eye out for, and something to the non-drayage operators looking in to think about. Your drayage partners that are the backbone of your supply chain, are you being good to them? Are they profitable enough? Are they making enough money to justify the businesses running and expanding and providing you the top level of service? I would always challenge us as partners with drayage providers to ensure that we're the best partners that we can be. So if I was a BCO, if I was a forwarder, if I was a broker today, I would call up my drayage partner and I would ask them, I would say, hey, we watched PortFest. We heard that there's concern about rates. How you doing? Is everything all right? Can we make adjustments to certain rates that would be more helpful and conducive to your business and conducive to you providing a heightened level of service for us? Promise you make that call, you're gonna make money, a multiple of that money that you end up paying out in improved service and appreciation from your drayage partners and provider. With new White Houses, there's always the chance of economic policies becoming positive for the economy and policies turning out to be negative for the economy. And there's always that risk of not knowing what's coming next. That could be a positive or a negative that results in markets changing and philosophies of business changing. Ultimately, that's going to have an impact on the drayage industry. It's going to have an impact on consumer spending. Interest rates are going to have an impact on consumer spending. So something extremely important in 24 to keep an eye on, and we'll see how that plays out. Green initiatives, something that's on the legislative level, really starting to put pressure on companies on state levels. Look California, look at Clean Air Act. Infrastructure that's being built out in California right now, the startup costs for EVs and for clean energy trucks, hydrogen trucks out in California, extremely expensive to start up there. Infrastructure is just being established. Do we really know what that's going to lead to? How that's going to impact rates, profitability for drayage companies? What's the impact it's going to have on the environment? Are those additional expenses going to be passed on to consumers, BCOs looking to reduce their environmental impact? So much happening right now. So much happening in that space. Something to keep an eye on as we went through 24 and looking forward to 25, where you're going to lie with green initiatives that are coming from the government and that impact. The adoption of technology within operations. We've definitely seen a improvement in software adoption if we're talking about 2010, 2015, 2020 till today. But we're kind of still at like the infancy stages of it, it feels like. It feels like software in the supply chain, software in drayage, we're kind of like, when we have team meetings, we're like, kind of feels like we're in the top of the first inning. Again, we're servicing over 500 companies, but there's just so much more that needs to be done, so much more we feel that we need to do in the space to allow and enable drayage operators to operate most effectively, most efficiently, and be good partners with their customers and other third parties that they work with. Technology adoption is something that we need to keep an eye on. Gotta really push. What I would say is the companies that we see drive adoption of their technology the most are actually the companies that at the top feel the impact of depressed rates the least. Ultimately, technology in this market today, it might not be in 10 or 15 years, but in the market today, technology, I think, is the biggest differentiator I see for companies that provide the same service. Ask your customer, ask them how they feel about the relationship. Is it just surface level enablement, or is it really driving efficiencies, improving service levels for your customer and allowing their supply chains to really, get to the next level? I think over the course of the next 2, 3, 4 years, technology will continue to become the great divide between drayage operators that are profiting the most and those drayage operators that struggle to keep their business afloat, are stuck in their ways, and don't want to be the best. So if you want to be the best in 2024 and beyond, we talk about you have to adopt software across your business, across your operations, across your finance, across your customer communications, your data, your reporting, how you look at your business as a whole. You need to look at it through the lens of digital transformation if you want to be competitive, if you want to be the best drayage provider in your space moving forward for the next decade. That is an important part in State of Drayage 2024 report. And again, make sure that we take a look at it. November 11th, it will be dropping. Last is union strike. So we just had, give or take a month ago, we just had a massive 3+ day strike on the East Coast and the Gulf. We've been keeping an eye on it at PortPro weeks and months ahead. You realized, holy moly, like this is actually going to happen, something that hadn't happened in an extremely long time. The fear that it drove into the market was material, and the impact that it had on drayage providers and volumes and their businesses, people were scared. Drivers were at risk of not getting paid. There's a lot of impact that the strike had on people, even for that short window. And we're not out of the water yet with it. We need to see what happens now in the beginning of the new year, really finalizing that agreement. But there's always the threat of labor at ports and what the dynamics are going to be moving forward with the potential of more automation coming into ports and more automated infrastructure coming into ports, and how ultimately will union labor and automation work together to really result in a better outcome for all stakeholders across the country. Now we get to do the exciting and the fun stuff, and the reason why most of you are streaming in, we get to talk about product. So let's check out what's new in PortPro. We have a ton that we're going to be going through today. Couldn't be more excited. 7 big ticket items. Let's rock and roll right through. We're going to be touching on communication internally, communication externally, and the AI, the artificial intelligence that we've built to underline all of our communication tools. Large language models, think ChatGPT, a ton of features and functionality in there that we're going to be walking through inside of our communication platform. Faster EDI integrations and setups, We all know that EDI is a pain in the butt. We've taken a really strong and hard look at it. We have a way that we're going to cut down EDI integrations from weeks to days. Reporting. Reporting is a huge requirement for companies. They need better visibility, better actionable insights. So not just the data, how do I take that data and how do I have actionable insights to take action from the data? Reports are only as good as the data, and they're only as good as the action I take after I look at the report, or else they're just a bunch of pretty graphs and charts ultimately. So we're going to be going into reporting. We're going to be going through our new owner-operator mobile app, LMC mobile app, for all those compliance misclassification issues that companies may be facing out in California that's spreading across the rest of the country. We're going to be talking through our new AI quoting tool that allows you to automate your quote responses back to your customers by way of email, and our brand new quoting and RFP tool that will allow drayage truckers on PortPro to gain more business. Next, we're going to be touching on our connected ecosystem, all that we've released so far between BCO, broker, and drayage trucker, and how we're going to be connecting the quoting and RFP process into this connected system, into this connected network, and really driving on this API level of integration to provide real-time visibility. And again, something the industry has never seen before. And last, dispatch optimization. That's the granddaddy. That's the creme de la creme of this presentation. So all 7 are amazing. Just really, really excited to share all this with you. So let's get into communication and what we're doing around product-related communication. 2 threads we want to focus on in communication: email, messaging. Email, messaging. So first thing I want to touch on is what we've heard from our customers and why communication through email and communication through messaging is so important. Right now, the vast majority of communication between drayage truckers and their customers happens through email. Orders being sent, updates being requested, invoices being sent, disputes back and forth across the board. Email is still the core communication tool that's used across supply chain and within drayage operations today. And email hasn't really been touched in a very long time when we think about email and operations of a drayage company. All of that amazing context and information for email lives outside of your operational software today, and it won't any longer. Our embedded email mailbox tool is one of the most impressive things that I've seen our company come up with over the course of the last 5 years. It is something that allows you as an operator within your email to completely transform the way that you're communicating internally and the way that you're communicating with your customers. All right, let's take a look at our brand new full launch rock and roll embedded email mailbox tool, underlined by PortPro's new communication AI.
Today, we're walking through PortPro's embedded email mailbox, a powerful tool designed to help logistics teams streamline communications and stay organized. Let's explore how you can use it to simplify your operations. To start, PortPro's embedded email mailbox lets you connect both personal and company inboxes. You can link these directly to your Gmail or Outlook through a secure API connection, so your usual email functionality is right here within PortPro. You can add multiple mailboxes and assign team members to have access, making it easy for everyone to manage communications without getting in each other's way. Each email thread comes with a status, just like a ticket. You can see at a glance if a message is open, waiting on your team, waiting on a customer, or closed. This feature is especially useful when working in a shared or group inbox. Next, we have customizable tags. Tags let you assign context to each email. For instance, when a quote request comes in, it automatically is tagged as a quote. You can also customize and manually assign tags to fit your team's workflow. One of the standout features is our rules engine, which lets you automate key tasks. There are 3 main types of rules you can create: assigning people to emails, tagging emails based on content, and creating SLAs. For example, Let's say we want to set an SLA to respond within 20 minutes to emails from a specific customer. We can create a rule that triggers based on organization, keywords, or tags. This SLA will notify us if a response deadline is approaching. Each email thread has color-coded SLA indicators, letting you know if the SLA is on time, if it's almost due, and if it's overdue. These visual cues make it easy to prioritize emails and stay on top of critical communications. Filters allow you to organize your inbox by status, tag, or SLA. If you want to see only overdue SLAs, you can filter down to focus on high priority messages in seconds. In the system, you can also automate your load tendering process. When a customer sends a delivery order, the system can automatically detect that it's a tender, tag it, and pre-draft a response. You can review the tender information, confirm the load, and reply to the customer, all within a few clicks. You can also assign emails to specific team members, either automatically or manually. For instance, if certain CSRs handle specific accounts, they can be assigned to emails from those customers to ensure consistency and quick responses. With PortPro's embedded email mailbox, your team can manage communication, automate repetitive tasks, and keep everyone aligned.
So did you see that? Were you able to see how embedding your email mailbox inside of your TMS can completely change the game for your business? Do you see how load level information and communication information living together drives efficiency? Do you see how automating communication is going to improve your service levels to your customers? Our communication tool regarding email is something that I am so excited about, and I'm excited to continue to see the adoption that we've gotten from it and new adopters of it in the future. It's a fantastic part of our communication solution that we're really proud of. That is available today. The other part of communication, as I said, internal communication. Email, external, internal communication. Today, it's really across the board split. There's a lot of internal messaging tools like Teams that are used. There's some Google Chat, Google Messenger that's used. Internal communications, again, are living, even emails used, but they're living outside of the operational information. So there hasn't really been good integration of TMS with messaging communication tool yet in existence. So coming in May of next year, we will be rolling out our brand new messaging tool. Let's check that out.
The new messaging can be accessed on the left-hand side of our screen here. Inside of messaging, we have two main portions. We have direct messages, where users can chat and message with different drivers or members of their internal team. They can share documents as well as images. They can also create channels. And you can think of channels like they're threads with multiple people about different topics. You can have channels with drivers, with members of your staff, all very similar to how you may be doing it inside of Teams or Slack today. The beautiful thing about channels is that when a conversation is referring to a specific load, it will automatically be indexed inside of that load. So in your communication tab inside of your load, you'll be able to see all of your direct messages that are related to this specific load, as well as channels. So if you're communicating with the driver, an office member, or even a finance group about a load, you'll be able to see all of these communications, not only in your separate messaging screen, you'll be able to access the communication tab and see all of these messages directly inside of your load at any time.
And then we're slapping our AI large language model underneath it. And you're really going to see a huge operational improvement, a huge service level improvement as that AI continues to improve. There's a ton of opportunity in communication, a ton of feedback that we've heard from our customers around how communication hasn't been innovated on and how slow it's progressed historically. And we're making a big effort, a big part of our roadmap of what we've already delivered and what we'll be delivering soon, focused around internal and external communications for drayage companies. Make sure you're commenting LinkedIn Live, asking questions. The team's in the chat. We'll respond to any and all questions as you have them. Really excited to see all those questions as they appear. Next, EDI. You may or may not know, PortPro has open APIs. So you can take our APIs and you can integrate into any third party you'd like to. Our system is built on new age infrastructure, but EDI is something that's continued to come up in our business since the beginning. EDI is the primary communication source because a lot of companies haven't yet adopted API integration as standard within their organization. So EDI is still the pillar of communication across supply chain stakeholders. For drayage operators, primarily the EDI protocols that are focused on are 204s, 210s, and 214s. So what that means is I'm receiving tenders, sending status updates, I'm sending invoices out to my customers. Now, EDI was supposed to be a standardized thing. We all know that EDI is never, ever standard. Every company has their own little tweaks that they'd like to make to these files. And what we've essentially decided to do is invest in a way to handle EDI easier and faster. It will no longer happen in a matter of weeks, EDI integrations. But with PortPro, beginning in December, the end of December, to end out the year strong, we will be rolling out to select customers the ability to have your EDI set up in a matter of days. This new interface and integration will allow you to set up your EDI integrations. I just said it, I'll say it again, in not weeks, in not months, but days. You will be able to set up 204s, 210s, and 214s with customers in days. Not only will you be able to set it up in days, you, if you'd like, would be able to have your EDI in the palm of your own hand, which means your team can control it. Our new no-code integration will allow you to manage adjusting and testing EDI integrations. Your team will be able to manage these EDI integrations. If you need our help, we can help you. EDI has been something that hasn't really found its way to medium and small companies, drayage companies alike, over the course of time. Now, this will be accessible to all drayage companies. No hefty startup fees. There will be $0. It will cost $0 to start up using this EDI if you're a PortPro customer. So every time you get an EDI integration set up, there's no need to pay $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 for that EDI integration. You will now be able to set up your EDI integration with $0 up front. EDI integrations, no dollars up front, will now only cost $129 per trading partner per month. No money down, $129 per trading partner per month, accessible to all. Extremely excited to be able to offer EDI and have that stood up for our customers in a matter of days, no code, self-service. That's exciting. Next, we're going to be talking about reporting. It's been a fun engagement with reporting, I got to tell you. Early PortPro, we rolled out this amazing tabular-based reporting tool we call the Loadmaster Report, and that really made a huge impact on companies that we worked with. A way of creating tabular reports just by clicking buttons and filtering and automatically sending out those reports to your customers or internally having those reports was a huge, huge game changer. But the need for more and better reporting was evident by all the feedback we received from our customers, and we listened with eyes and ears wide open. So coming in November, we will be releasing our brand new reporting tools, and they're two-sided. Brand new reporting dashboards and brand new custom tabular reports. Our dashboards are going to give drayage operators amazing insights into how their business is operating, from finance to operations to administrative. to automation, system usage, all actionable events that drayage operators will be able to take and have insights into their company. And we're gonna drive you to make recommendations of ways you can improve your operation through these dashboard reports.
Extremely excited to roll it out. General availability will be in November. It's going to be great for our companies.
The other side of reports, tabular reports. So how do we improve on our tabular reports, i.e. our load master report? Our load master report had some billing information on it, but primarily it was a report that was used for sending out load level information to our customers. And what we did was we broke our new custom reporting tool down into a multitude of different buckets. We broke it down into the load level. We broke it down into the finance level. We broke it down into the equipment and operational level. Let's check it out.
To create custom reports in the system, start by clicking the green Create Report button in the top right corner of your screen. This allows you to build table-based reports for various objects, such as loads, invoices, credit memos, and many more. Now let's begin by creating a report for loads. On the right side of the screen, you'll see my table starting to form, with the first column set as load number. Now, let's add a few more columns. I'll add status of the load, last free day, and let's add one more column for container number. I can easily rename, pin, remove, and reorder columns in my report. For example, let's rename the last free day column to LFD. The report now reflects the change. Next, let's filter the report to refine the data further. You can filter by customer, date, or a variety of other criteria to get the exact view that you need. Once you're satisfied with the report, you can save it for future use. You can simply click Save Report, give it a name, select any emails that you may want this report automatically sent out to. You can determine when you want to send the report out, whether it be daily, weekly, and you can even select the time that you want these reports to automatically be sent out, creating for a truly customizable reporting experience.
So now, as a user of PortPro, you can create custom table reports across a multitude of different parts of your business, no longer requiring the need for boilerplate and standardized template-based tabular reports. Now you'll be able to customize all of the reports that you will need directly from within the system without any technical expertise required. Also, those dashboards will be included on our customer portal. So your customers, you will be able to share dashboards with your customers. And we're going to be talking about customer engagement, customer interaction in just a short while here. But you're going to be able to share these dashboards and these reports with your customers inside of their own customer portal as well. So dashboards, tabular-based custom reports, automatically sending out. No need to send out any sort of reports, manipulate them manually ever again, save you a ton of time, improve your service level. So we clap it up for the report team. I clap it up for all of our customers who have been desperately awaiting our reporting revamp. I promise you the team's been working extremely hard on it. Excited to roll that out to all of you. Quoting and RFPs. Let's bucket quoting into a couple different sections. First section we want to bucket quoting in is within our email tool, how are we going to automate quotes? The second part is how do we build the infrastructure to allow our drayage partners, the drayage companies that work with PortPro, to share their rates and work together. First, inside of our email tool, we have built AI that actually allows you to respond to emails with quotes automatically. What does that mean? Let's say, raise your hand, do you get quotes from customers you receive over email inbound? Yes, yes, and yes. Typically, you have somebody sitting there, they're writing up responses to your quotes, they're getting back out to your customer, it takes time, you don't answer all of them, you can't manage them, it's really all over the place. Inside of our email tool, you have the ability to automate that process, set up your rates. The system receives emails from your customers that are quotes. It checks your rate setup and it automatically responds back and creates a quote inside of the system, allowing you to have as close to 100% quote coverage as you'd like. Let's see how we transform quoting and RFPs.
First, let's enter into our email inbox and let's filter to display all emails the system has automatically tagged as a quote request. Now, let's look at our quote request from Elon Musk. It appears Elon is requesting a rate quote for a container between the New York, New Jersey ports and Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The system will process this request and automatically respond to Elon with the rate you've set up for this lane. Additionally, it will create a quote in the system with a unique quote number, allowing you to manage and track your active quotes. After automatically responding to Elon's email and creating a quote, you can now access that quote from your quoting page. You'll see here at the top of your list, the quote that you sent to Tesla for the New York, New Jersey ports to Pittsburgh, priced at $19.55. This page allows you to manage all of your quote requests seamlessly.
Team has worked incredibly hard to build the RAG infrastructure on top of large language models to be able to deliver extremely intelligent and human-like, I would say, responses back to customers that are requesting quotes from trucking companies that we work with. That's live today, by the way. Quoting, embedded email, live today. The other piece of this is coming in January, so it's going to be part of our big end of the year push. The team is working very hard on it right now. Quoting, we are essentially going out right now and we are building a tool that allows a few different things to happen. First, it allows me as a drayage trucking company to give access to rates to anybody who would like to see them. So now as a drayage trucker, I can expose my rates on my website and allow people to come on my website and access those rates. I can create my rates and I can expose them to something I'm about to get to, which will allow them to be exposed to a network of companies that may want to work with me. And if companies ever are looking for my quotes, I know who the company is, I know who received my quote, I have their contact information, and I have the ability to communicate back with them. Not just a one-sided asking for a quote and not knowing who got my quote. You're gonna have the ability to manage all of that within your PortPro system. The other side of the coin, which is really going to make this extremely powerful, is that we've built a tool that allows BCOs, forwarders, and brokers to request rates from their drayage truckers. Let's take a look.
BCOs or brokers using PortPro can easily connect with drayage truckers who also use PortPro. On the left side of the screen here, Tesla can request a quote and specify details about the container, including the pickup and delivery locations, container size, number of containers, and container type, as well as endorsements. They can also filter and specify seeing drayage truckers who use PortPro and even set a target rate. Drayage carriers like Talon Logistics can share their rates with Tesla to potentially secure the business. Tesla can see whether a trucker uses PortPro and if they are already connected into that trucker's system. Let's select Talon Logistics and see what happens. Since Tesla is not yet connected with Talon, they have the option to click the Connect button. This pulls up Talon's information, allowing Tesla to access relevant documents and begin the onboarding and procurement process. Once connected, Tesla can officially accept Talon as a carrier in their network. From there, Tesla can tender Talon work directly. Talon will be able to accept that tendered work at the quoted rate.
Now as a BCO broker or forwarder, you have the ability to request quotes and request rates from drayage partners that you already work with and ones that you may want to work with in the future. You have the ability to see their rates. You have the ability to see what markets they service, what lanes they service. And now you have the ability to see if you are connected with them and their technology enablement. What does their software stack look like? How easy will it be to work with these companies? Extremely exciting. You can do this in a spot quote manner. You'll be able to do this in a small contract, whether it's 10 boxes, 50 boxes, 100 boxes on a project level. You also will be able to handle this quoting process in an RFP style, where you'll be able to submit RFPs and receive back quotes to drayage providers that want to provide those rates back to you. But you're not just going to see the rates. I think that's a very important distinction to make. Remember what we talked about in drayage industry insights. You're going to see the software aspect of these businesses. They're going to be able to expose what information they can share, like driver location, documents, how they're natively integrated in to work with you. So if you're a broker, forwarder, or BCO that uses our PortPro brokerage solution, you will now have the ability to request quotes, receive quotes, and work with drayage trucking companies from directly within the solution off the back of those quotes. Our goal with this tool is to empower and enable our drayage trucking partners to have access to as many customers as possible. Remember, you're going to be able to see everybody that requests your quote. What lanes did they request? Who requested them? And it's going to create quotes generated within your system, so you're not just having people requesting rates and not doing anything. You have all the data in your back pocket that allows you to go out and win that business and work with those companies and show that you're the best drayage provider that is for them. Remember, I can take this quote and I can take this RFP, and it's going to flow into our connected solution, which we're going to talk about in a second. So quoting and RFPs, January of 2025. Really excited for that. We talked about connectivity. We talked about quoting connectivity. Now the question is, for that quoting aspect, how are we going to leverage quoting and allow our drayage partners to begin really working nicely together, from sourcing each other, hey, how do I find customers? How do I find truckers? To rates, to the actual process of working together. We've went out and we went through EDI, which we're going to take care of now. Handful of days, rock and roll, just a matter of days to get that set up. But there's the API piece, and we still want to be forward looking. We want to help people where they're at today, but we want to be forward looking. Last year, I told you we rolled out our brokerage solution to tremendous success. The brokerage solution has been a hit amongst not only brokers, but BCOs as well. Our brokerage solution allows companies that work within drayage to manage their operations as amazingly as possible, the same way that our drayage trucking company solution allows our drayage asset-based partners to operate their businesses optimally. There's something that we've built within this that I think is extremely powerful, and that's the connectivity within it. The connectivity within our solution across broker, BCO, to drayage trucker is something like I've never seen before. And it's really one of the cornerstones and one of the pillars of what we're trying to accomplish for our drayage trucking partners here at PortPro. The brokerage solution at PortPro and the trucking solution at PortPro are natively connected. Those two solutions are natively connected. I hope we understand what that means. So today, as a broker or a BCO that uses PortPro, I have the ability to work with any PortPro trucking company natively. I don't have to set up a single integration. All that's required is a drayage trucker on the PortPro system to turn on the integration for you, select what permissions they'd like, and now you have a stood up, streamlined, connected ecosystem. You have the ability, both drayage trucker and BCO broker alike, to tender loads, receive real-time status updates. You have the ability to get notified when changes are made. We have an approval process for changes. Let's say a trucker or a BCO broker partner wants to make an adjustment to an appointment time, wants to make an adjustment to a reference number. All that information, we have a streamlined process of processing and accepting or rejecting across the system. We also have the ability to share invoices back and forth, approve invoices, share documents back and forth, approve the sharing of documents. What documents do I require? All the amazing functionality that we hope to achieve through EDI, we have natively built. We've natively built it within PortPro. By us natively building it within PortPro, BCO, broker, and trucker relationships, connectivity, have improved the likes that we've never seen before. We have a ton of drayage trucking partners who have given rave reviews of this, and a ton of BCO broker customers that it is simply the foundational piece as to why they went with PortPro. We are now taking that amazing functionality and we're bundling it with the quoting and the RFP process. So envision this. As a BCO or a broker, I use PortPro. And I use PortPro because I want to work with the best truckers. I want to work with the truckers that will give me the highest level of service. I want to work with the truckers that are the most technologically enabled and that will allow me to have the optimal level of service within my supply chain. I need to work with it. It's a prerequisite for my success. And the best are on PortPro today. The best drayage providers, the best asset-based drayage trucking companies in the United States and Canada today use PortPro. And I want to work with them. Now I have the ability to receive quote requests, receive quotes, and submit RFPs to a drayage trucking company that I am natively connected with. Do you understand the power of that? I have the ability to submit a quote, accept a quote, the ability to actually tender work to a trucking company all within one motion. Imagine being a trucking company and having the ability to go out and be received by customers that are interested in technically enabled drayage companies, and you're natively connected with them, and they have the ability to source and find you and work with you, and the workflow is seamless, streamlined. How impactful that is. How much time and money you're going to save by not having to go back and forth on email, and not having to go back and forth over the phone, and really, really working together. The drayage truckers that use PortPro are the best drayage truckers. The BCOs and brokers that use PortPro want to work with the best drayage truckers. They want to pay fair rates. They want to pay the best because they want the best. And that's a prerequisite for being a broker BCO that uses PortPro. You got to want to work with the best drayage truckers. January 25, that's coming with the RFPs. The connectivity piece is there today, connecting the RFPs to the tendering process. That's coming in January of 25. Very excited about it. Think it will be transformational for our drayage trucking partners. And at the core, that's what we build software for. Oh, the owner-operator mobile app. Here we go. So earlier this year, we did a soft launch of our LMC owner-operator mobile app. And I tell you, there was a lot of amazing feedback from it. We worked throughout the year to make improvements, adjustments, and tweaks. We're now rolling it out in just a few days here in November. And you may ask what the owner-operator mobile app is. AB5 regulations across California have really targeted, and kind of spreading across the country, but have really targeted trucking companies that and owner-operators that potentially are being misclassified. Leased on owner-operators that get paid as 1099s that work within drayage operations in California can't work the same way they worked previously. So it's really resulted in the changing the structure of a lot of drayage companies in California. And that threat is happening and now moving across the country, across the US. So what did we do? We built a mobile app that allows independent drayage owner-operators to manage their work from a mobile app. It allows you, as I mentioned before, to connect with these drayage owner-operators. So let's say that I work today, I had to change my structure, and now I need a different mobile app. I can't use my normal mobile app that my company drivers use. I need a new mobile app that will keep me aligned with the structure that the government is laid out to be compliant with new laws and regulations. What we've built is a mobile app that will assist you in doing that. Let's check out our brand new owner-operator LMC mobile app.
Getting started with the owner-operator mobile app is simple. Owner-ops can sign up directly from their mobile app, connect with trucking companies and brokers that they may work with, and start receiving work right away. This direct connection keeps you in sync with your partners, making it easy to access work and send updates. Now let's dive into the app and see how it works. As an owner-operator, you can receive work assignments directly from the trucking companies and brokerages you work with. Once assigned, you can accept the job and start updating statuses, uploading documents, and keeping your customers informed of your progress in real time. You can invoice from within the mobile app as well. You can easily bill customers directly. Let's say you need to charge for chassis days. You can add these charges to the invoice just like a large trucking company would, but without any added complexity. This keeps owner-operators independent while ensuring streamlined invoicing and clear financial record keeping. With the owner-operator mobile app, you're equipped to manage every aspect of your work independently and efficiently. From job updates to invoicing, you have everything you need at your fingertips.
This separation of this mobile app, remember, these owner-ops sign up for this independently. They see your logo and they have the ability to connect to you, drayage trucker. They have the ability to connect to you, drayage broker. They have the ability to connect into your operation from an independent mobile app. You can tender them work, they can accept the work, and then they invoice you. You don't process settlements for them. This next item, this last item that we're going to touch on today, it is one of the most impactful things that a company can incorporate into their operation. And it's been something that we have done a ton of planning, a ton of groundwork, a ton of hiring the right people, because honestly, you can't do amazing things without amazing people. We spent a lot of time building up the machine and the engine and our infrastructure to be able to truly build state-of-the-art and industry-leading, best-in-class dispatch optimization. And dispatch optimization for drayage, I just want to be very clear. Dispatch optimization for drayage is so different. It's just a different world than dispatch optimization for truckload. Drayage has a bunch of different stakeholders that have equipment in play, chassis, containers, trucks. I always say it, drayage is high stakes gambling. I don't pick up or return containers in time, there's fines and fees in the hundreds, thousands, or tens of thousands, depending on the scope of the mess up. I have drop-in hooks. I have congestion at ports. I have detention at warehouses. There is a plethora of different data points that are required to truly optimize dispatch inside of an operation. As of right now, we have begun a project with 40 of our customers that are looking for dispatch optimization within their operations. We have launched this project and are in the process of working with each of these companies to optimize their dispatch. We are going to be working with them over the course of the coming months on the dispatch optimization tool that we have already built. And we're going to be truly, I say, we will be optimizing the dispatch for these drayage operators. Mike, what the heck is drayage dispatch optimization? What the heck are you talking about? All right, let's get into it. I'm a dispatcher inside of a drayage organization. The way we look at it, there's 3 different pillars that we need to look at. We need to look at, hey, my drivers have preferences and parameters. My customers have preferences and parameters, and my loads have preferences and parameters. What does this mean? Hey, I'm a driver and I have a TWIC card. I can run imports, or I have preferences. I can do this distance. I have these endorsements. I work these hours. I'm this good at my job. I'm better here than I am there based off of data historically. I've been here for this amount of time. These drivers need to make this amount of money. All that native knowledge that's inside of dispatchers' heads, working to get that into the system so that we can process, hey, which drivers are the best drivers for certain scenarios? Next, customers. Which customers are my biggest? Which are my smallest? Which are the most important to me? Which are really important in demerge? Which are important in per diem? Which I can't miss a delivery appointment on? How do I want to prioritize my customers if I only had one truck left and I had 2 boxes or 3 boxes that need to be moved? What order would I dispatch those in? And then on the load level, we have a bunch of different load level data sets, all the locations, dates, times. How do we stack rank all of those and combine it with location and distance and traffic and weather and active waiting time and active congestion in ports? All of that live data, your ELD's hours of service, which is integrated into PortPro. How do you take all of this required information, all of these parameters and preferences? How do you stack rank them? And how do you process to get output that is optimal? That is what we've built. We have built the ability for dispatch operators, for drayage companies to take a bunch of different parameters. Our system will process the parameters that you set up, and it'll process all of your historical decision-making that you've made in the past. And it will give you the information and stack rank what's the best plan for the next move if you're looking at one specific load, or the next day if you want to build an entire plan that lays out the first move of the day or the first and second move of the day. How are you going to establish and manage your equipment, your chassis, bobtail, all of it? The system will be able to comprehend preferences you set up, historical context based off of all the decisions that dispatchers have made, and serve it up for you dispatchers. Serve it up to make your lives easier. Serve it up to allow you to service your drivers better, to service your customers better, to make sure that you're making the optimal decisions for your operation. At the end of the day, the better we can be, the more money we make. Dispatch optimization is the cornerstone, I believe, of what will make a drayage operation optimal in the future. We'll start with the building blocks for the 40 drayage companies that we're working with. We'll begin offering recommendations for their dispatchers. We'll allow the dispatchers to say, hey, this is optimal, this isn't optimal, and why. If dispatchers don't agree with the system's recommendations, they can make the decision that they would like to make. And then we're going to force rank on the back end. We're going to rank and review which decision was optimal and which decision wasn't optimal. Why was the decision optimal? We're going to be able to play back and review and see what is the best decisions that we can make in each individual instance historically through my dispatch. Let's check out, let's see what dispatch optimization is going to look like.
Now, we can recommend dispatch assignments with dispatch optimization, which is incredibly powerful. There are 3 ways that we're handling it. First, we can assign recommended drivers to loads. For my dispatch board, I can select which driver I want to assign to this load. And I can see options for what the system is recommending as the best choice for this load, a great choice for this load, or a good choice for the load. I can also select non-recommended drivers if I disagree with the system's recommendation. Obviously, let's select the best choice though. Assign my driver, send it out to their mobile app, and I'm good to go recommending the best driver onto a specific load. Next, let's move to our planner view. Here, I can do the opposite. I can assign recommended loads to drivers. Let's check out the next recommended load for this driver here. Again, I see options for the best choice for a recommended load, a great choice, and a good choice. Let's select the best choice and assign this load to this driver. Perfect. Finally, let's plan for tomorrow. Yeah, I said it. Let's plan a whole day for tomorrow. Let's move to the next day. Let's select this button to generate a complete plan. based off of all my parameters and preferences. The system automatically created an optimized plan for me and alerted me of any overflow work that it believes is unmanageable, shown on the right-hand side here. Dispatchers can come in and adjust the plan if they want to make any changes they feel would be best. With my plan set, I can now send out my dispatch for my entire day to my drivers in just a matter of seconds.
We anticipate exponential improvements in fuel efficiency, in service levels, in the ability for drivers to handle more, make more money, for the ability for companies to incentivize their best drivers. The economic impact that dispatch optimization will make will be massive for companies, increasing their bottom line ultimately, and allowing them to service their customers and go out and scale their businesses in ways they never dreamed they could. Dispatch optimization is happening right now with these 40 companies. You can pre-register to be the next 40. Pre-registration begins today for the next group of 40 drayage companies that we will take through the dispatch optimization journey. Our team is putting a link in the chat here with a form you can fill out if you're interested in being one of those 40 companies. We will hold your hand. We'll work through your team with the change management aspects. We'll build trust in the system. And you can begin pre-registering for that again right now. The team is working so hard across customer success and product and engineering to make this happen optimally for each of our customers. So what we've learned about dispatch optimization, remember what I said in the beginning, margins have become extremely thin. There are high operational costs for potentially inefficient or less than optimal routes that drivers are going on, eating up a ton of fuel and wasting time. Companies struggle with underutilization of their assets and drivers. Do they know which drivers are being matched to the right loads, or which piece of chassis equipment do they have sitting that they could be leveraging to make money? Companies really aren't sure about that level of information right now. They don't have any actionable steps they can take to improve it. Service failures from dispatch result in customer churn and low levels of customer satisfaction, which result in losing customers, reduced rates, and a bad customer experience. Mistakes that are made inside of dispatch can result in compliance penalties and lost money because of fines and fees from demurrage and per diem. Our goal with dispatch optimization is to reduce cost through optimizing driver routing. We want to enhance utilization and satisfaction and productivity and money that drivers ultimately will make. We want our customers to have an improved level of service reliability and customer satisfaction. And ultimately, we want our companies to thrive. And we want our companies to be able to scale. And we want our companies to succeed. So that's it, folks. Another year down. Looking forward to an amazing future together. Just some quick shout outs. First thing I want to do is I want to shout out our team that's put this event together. I want to shout out to our entire organization. We are working as one, and I'm extremely proud to be working, in the trenches with all of you each and every day. It's the honor, again, I said it last year, I'll say it this year. It's the honor of a lifetime to work with each of you. I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the effort. I appreciate all the progress. I'd like to thank our customers. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your loyalty. Thank you for your belief and your grit and your ability to push us in the right direction. I really want to say a huge thank you to our customers, because ultimately PortPro would not exist without our customers and their belief in our ability to deliver. Thank you again for continuing to push us in the direction we need to be pushed, push towards innovation, push towards making your businesses better, because that's ultimately, again, back to our mission, that's ultimately what we're looking to do. We're looking to improve the supply chain, by improving the drayage component of it, improving the lives of the people within the drayage operation. So thank you, customers. Thank you to all PortPro users. We really appreciate all the support, and we promise that we'll continue to do the best that we can on a day in, day out basis, grinding it out with you to give you the best solution possible. Thanks, everybody. Great to see you. See you next year.